Good morning, folks, or maybe good afternoon or good evening. What we're going to do right now is a quick video on the histology of the colon, the large intestine. And let's start by reviewing our basic layers. So if we check out this colon that we've got here, if we look at it, we're going to have the four basic layers from right here all the way to right here. That is the mucosa. And then underneath that, we have a skinny little submucosa right there. And then underneath that, we have a muscularis externa. And on the outside here, right over here, we've got the serosa. So, those are our basic layers. Now, let's review the basic layers of the mucosa. So right there, that is our epithelium right there. Yeah, that's our epithelium. Epithelium in this case is again simple columnar. Notice it was simple columnar in the small intestine as well and in the stomach. The esophagus and the oral cavity, on the other hand, had stratified squamous. Under that epithelium, we are going to have our lamina propria, the loose connective tissue supporting it. And then under that lamina propria, we have the muscularis mucosae, which is going to wiggle and jiggle the mucosa. All right, check out all the holes that we've got. We got a lot of holes here. Each of these holes is an opening to an intestinal gland or intestinal crypt. I also see them in the longitudinal section, like I'm going to go down one right here. Whoosh. These guys primarily secrete mucus. Why do we need mucus? Well, one of the big jobs of our epithelium here is to absorb water from poop. And as you absorb water, you need mucus in order to let things be able to move. Okay, cool. Let's get rid of that. Let's go on and look at the real thing. Here is the real thing right here. This is the colon right here. So I don't see any villi. There were villi, of course, in the large intestine, but no villi here. I got my mucosa up here. I don't really see any beautiful intestinal glands. Maybe a little bit actually right here. This like right there, right there. Those white lines right there, those are intestinal glands. I do see some goblet cells. Let me circle a little cluster of goblet cells right there. There's a cluster of goblet cells right there. So I do see goblet cells to make the mucus. What I'm basically in right here, this is basically epithelium and lamina propria. Epithelium and lamina propria. Right underneath that, this stretch right here, that stretch right there is the muscularis mucosa. Now, I see the submucosa. I see a big blood vessel inside it right here, which is really nice vein right there. And now below that, I see my muscularis externa. There it is. And I got my inner circular layer and my outer longitudinal layer. And then on the very outside, I've got my serosa. So I can basically see just about everything here, which is good. Really good. Really good, actually. All right. If we look at this colon, I like this colon a lot. I think this one looks nice. It's only one downside to this one. We'll see that in a second. So I definitely have my mucosa right here. I definitely see lots of goblet cells. I'm just going to put a line through a bunch of goblet cells. Whoosh. A lot of goblet cells right there. These bigger openings right here, those are my intestinal glands. Lots of those as well. My lamina propria is in here. Where I have the goblet cells, that is interspersed with the simple columnar epithelium. kind of hard to see, but there is a tiny little muscularis mucosa right in here, right in here, right here. I'm drawing a line on it, basically. Whoosh. And then right in here, I've got my submucosa, putting some zigzags in my submucosa. And then down here, this is my inner circular muscularis externa. And right here, this is my outer longitudinal muscularis externa. I don't see my serosa here. That's okay. Do you realize if we cut a cross section of the colon, and it looks kind of like a circle in a cross section, there's only an outer longitudinal muscularis externa in 3 spots. So the whole thing, the whole circumference doesn't have it. It's only in 3 spots. And we actually saw this in the gross anatomy because we saw those bands of smooth muscle and they were called tinea coli. Yeah. All right, right. Let's see. Zooming in on the mucosa here. We got some nice little goblet cells. Here's a goblet cell right here making mucus. Another one right here making mucus. The epithelium is going down like this and then going back up and then going over and down. Hard to tell, but take my word for it. It is simple columnar. Now, this space down here, this is an intestinal gland or intestinal crypt. All these bigger white spaces are. Okay. Now I see a little stretch of submucosa here, right there, and then over here on the left, I got my inner circular muscularis externa. All right, I think I got one more large intestine pick to show you. There it is. So we're mostly zooming in on the muscularis here. I do have a little bit of submucosa up here. And then this is the inner circular muscularis externa. Maybe I should make a text box. What do you think? I should just do that, right? Here's the outer longitudinal. It's taking me too long to type, but maybe I should just type on it. What do you guys think? I mean, I can make it bigger. All right, anyway, this is very professionally done, isn't it? I also do see bits of my serosa out here as well. I see bits of my serosa out here. Ooh, look at that arrow. I like that. That's pretty nice. That's serosa right there. All right, anyway, I'm just playing with my recording stuff here. We are now done the colon. Awesome. See you guys next time when we talk about the pancreas. Bye-bye.